Have you ever felt like you're not really in the driver's seat of your own life? Like there's some kind of hidden operating system running everything in the background? Well, you're not wrong. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on that system, your subconscious mind, and I'm going to show you how to become its lead programmer. So, let's just start with a number that might really stop you in your tracks: 95%. According to cell biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, that is the percentage of your life that is not run by your conscious thinking mind. Just let that sink in. Almost everything you do, say, and feel today isn't a choice you're actively making. It's just a program running on autopilot. And what this really means is that your life is basically running on software that was installed a long, long time ago. These are the programs that dictate your relationship with money, your beliefs about love, even how you feel about yourself. And the wildest part? Most of us never even realize the software is running the show. So yeah, this is the main problem we're digging into. That 95% autopilot can make us feel like we're just passengers, subject to whatever fate throws at us. But we're supposed to be the creators of our own reality. So let's start by really understanding the incredible power of this unconscious force. The great Carl Jung just nailed it with this quote. "We see the results of our programming, the struggles, those same repeating patterns, the bad luck, and we just call it fate. But it's not fate, it's just a program." And you know the good news about programs, right? Any program can be rewritten. All right, so if we're all running on these programs, where do they even come from? How did this fundamental code get installed in the first place? Well, the origin story of our mental software, it begins when we are at our most vulnerable, in early childhood. For the first 7 years of your life, your brain is mostly operating in what's called a theta brainwave state. And Dr. Lipton explains that this isn't just a state of imagination. No, it's literally a state of hypnosis. You are basically in a trance, just absorbing everything from the world around you without any question. This theta state is exactly why kids can learn languages and social rules so fast, so effortlessly. Their conscious analytical mind, the part that filters and judges everything, it just isn't fully online yet. Their subconscious is wide open, with the record button pushed down 24/7. So this is the process in action. Thinkers like Bob Proctor and Bruce Lipton explain it like this. You download your reality by just observing the world. Did your parents fight about money? Well, you probably downloaded a program about financial struggle. Were they super affectionate? You downloaded a program for healthy relationships. But here is the real kicker. Dr. Lipton estimates that around 60% of these programs we downloaded are disempowering or self-sabotaging. Okay, so we figured out that we're running on software that's largely outdated and a lot of times just plain faulty. And that brings us to the most important question of all. If the code is bad, how in the world do we rewrite it? And this is where things get really interesting, because there are a couple of very different ideas about how to do it. This is the challenge, right? You can't just have a conversation with your subconscious and tell it to change. So what do you do? Is it all about willpower and repetition, just forcing the change? Or is there another, maybe more subtle way to communicate with this powerful, hidden part of yourself? So on one side, you've got the classic method, repetition. The idea here is that you can overwrite old habits by consciously practicing new ones, like with affirmations. But there's a really powerful counterargument, and thinkers like neuro-knowledge champion this, that says the subconscious doesn't really respond to that kind of brute force. It speaks a completely different language. So let's dive into that counterargument, because this is where you find the master key. The whole idea is that instead of trying to force a change on the system, you have to learn to speak the native language of the subconscious. And that language, as it turns out, is the language of feeling and emotion. So, what closes the door to your subconscious? Effort, strain, tension. Anytime you're trying to force an affirmation, gritting your teeth to believe it, you're creating tension. This puts your body in a survival state. And as neuro-knowledge points out, the second that happens, the door to your subconscious just slams shut. So then what opens the door? Relaxation. When you relax, your brain waves naturally slow down into alpha and theta, the exact same states from your childhood. This quiets that loud, analytical mind. Your subconscious also loves conviction, and I don't just mean hoping or trusting, I mean a deep internal knowing. And most importantly, it responds to emotion. So what even is emotion? Well, it's literally energy in motion. It's the language of your body. Think of it this way.
Thought is the language of the brain, but emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. It is the electrical and magnetic charge that takes a simple idea and makes it stick, makes it real to your operating system.
And just to put this into perspective for you, research from the HeartMath Institute has shown that the heart, which is the body's emotional center, it generates an electromagnetic field that is 60 to 100 times larger than the brain's. That's why a deeply felt emotion is so much more powerful than just a fleeting thought. And this is the ultimate takeaway. You don't get rid of a negative belief by fighting it. You displace it. You overwrite the old program by creating a new idea, and then you charge it with such a powerful positive emotion that the old belief simply gets pushed out. It has no choice. All right, so we get the problem, we know where it came from, and now we understand the core principle of how to change it. Now for the fun part, the practical part. Let's put together a toolkit that combines all these principles into a real, actionable process so you can become the creator of your own reality. Here it is, a simple 3-step process. First, you have to relax, meditate, do some breath work, whatever it takes to get out of that tense, analytical state. Second, you experience. Don't just think about your goal. Feel it. Live it in your mind as if it's already done. What would you see? What would you hear? And the most important question is, how would you feel? And third, convince. You embody that feeling of your wish fulfilled until it feels more real than your current reality. That is conviction. And here are a few simple rules to make this work. Your mental scene has to be in the present tense. As Bruce Lipton says, if you say I will be, you're telling your subconscious that it's always in the future. It has to be I am. Experience it in the first person through your own eyes. Keep the scene short and simple. Just focus on the feeling of the end result. And most importantly, no strain. If you feel yourself trying too hard, just stop. Relax and come back to it later. It should feel natural. I really want to leave you with this powerful idea from Dr. Lipton. So many of us have been taught to see ourselves as victims. Victims of our genes, our past, our circumstances. But the new science is showing us the truth. You are the master. Your consciousness is what's directing the entire show, right down to the genetic level. Ultimately, your subconscious mind is a faithful, powerful creator. It will build without any question whatever blueprint you give it. So the only question that really matters is, what blueprint are you giving it? What are you asking it to create for you today?